Hello, I'm Bill O'Donnell, and welcome to another program on spirituality. Today in the studio, I'm excited to introduce my guest, the Sister of Loretto from Denver, Sister Anna Koop, and three ladies from Pakistan who've come here to learn more about the Loretto community. And here in New Mexico, there's no more famous women's religious community than the community of Loretto. They were literally the first women religious to come to New Mexico, and they were the educational system here, I think, for the first 100 years or so. And many graduates of Loretto Academy are still with us, and they have fond memories and are very thankful for their presence. So welcome, Sister Anna, and to all of you. Before we get started, we'll first introduce our guests, and then come back and tell us a little bit about the Sisters of Loretto.
Well, these three women from Pakistan, Ifat, Samina, and Maria, have come to the United States. They arrived on September 19th in order to explore vowed membership with the Loretto community. And you will hear later about the fact that they did this with really great effort. It was difficult for them to get visas, kind of a long, arduous process. And with a great deal of intention and desire to become Loretto and then to bring Loretto back to Pakistan. So that is who these three women are. And I'm sure Bill has said that he has done some other programs on the Sisters of Loretto, so maybe some of you already know some of the history, that our community came to Santa Fe in 1852 across the Santa Fe Trail, and again with a certain amount of hardship and determination to come here to be with a totally different culture and to teach these people and to have a good education available for people in this part of the country.
Yeah, literally, some of their members died on their way coming here. So sacrifice and danger and all the rest of it in the Spirit of the Lord is something that's part of your tradition. So when I first heard that the Lorettos were going to be in Pakistan, I thought, boy, this is a continuation of that. So tell us, give a little outreach. Most of the people here in New Mexico think of as primarily just education, but that's not true. Tell us a little bit more about it. And while I'm at it, I want to tell you at home, if you have your computer there, go to www.lorettocommunity.org. And I was blown away, literally. It was a fabulous website. There's a lot going on, and the only way to really learn about it would be to go to that website or to call them. But anyhow, with that lead in, tell the folks at home a little more about Loretto and the ministries, different ministries that they're involved with.
Well, probably the best way to explain that is that after the Vatican II Council, our community very quickly began to move into some new ways for religious life, part of which in our community was a very important decision that each member could choose her place of work and her place of living, meaning that all of a sudden we were not obliged to be teachers. And I can say that my own personal history is that I came to the Loretto community with a master's in social work, never really had any intention of teaching, and came to the community in 1969. So it was right on the cusp when that was beginning to happen. And a few years, about 10 years later, actually, I helped to begin a Catholic worker house in Denver. So that's my background, and with a great deal of support from the Loretto community, prayer, financial, hands-on, just a great deal of support getting that effort on its feet. And it has now been in existence for 25 years. So the other kinds of things that we are doing, we have the president of our community right now is an attorney who for many years worked for Legal Aid, Sister Mary Catherine Rabbit. There are other people working in clinics with poor people. In the neighborhood where the Catholic worker is, there's another sister of Loretto who works in a day shelter and a clinic. She's a nurse. There is another sister of Loretto who works for something called Earthlink, which tries to link poor homeless people with the beauty of the earth. And just wonderful projects. Actually, Maria is doing some volunteer work there, just began a few weeks ago with one of their projects. So a tremendous diversity in the community since we've been able to make our own decisions about our passion, our own passion, and where that might lead us in doing apostolic work for God.
But you're not only doing it domestically, obviously, you're doing it internationally as well. So, and that brings us to our guest today from Pakistan. Who would like to start? I understand one of you has an older sister who is in a religious order. That's you.
Yes.
So tell us about yourself and about your life and how you were drawn to the Loretto community.
Should I tell my name first?
Please.
My name is Maria Daniel, and my elder sister, she learned about Loretto when she was in Holland, and right now she is in transfer procedure, and she told me about Loretto, and it was my desire when I was, I think, in 4th grade, and one sister, she was from Presentation congregation, and I impressed by her, and my mother and everybody who asked from me, what would you like to be? And always I told, I would like to be Sister Josepha. But my sister, she don't want to be from me to go there. Then when she learned about Loretto, she went back to Pakistan. She shared with me, and she said, if still you have desire to join any religious congregation, so I think that Loretto will be best for you. And I said, okay. So I'm here.
That's wonderful. How about you? Tell us your name and what drew you to Loretto.
I'm Samina Iqbal. Maria and myself, we were working together in NGO from last 10 years. And
an NGO is a
non-governmental
organization. Thank you.
Yeah. And we did not, I did not decided anything about sisters. This is, you can say this is accidentally. And Baji Nasreen, Sister Nasreen Daniel, Maria's elder sister, she shared with us about Loretto, and then we decided to join Loretto because Loretto, biggest attraction is this, that Loretto gives the freedom for work. That's why we are here.
Yeah. And that's something new, isn't it? I mean, I should probably get you in before we ask those questions. Tell us your name and why you are here.
I am Ifat Peter, and my whole childhood was with the Daughter of Cross, and these are the biggest community in Pakistan. And I was working with them as a voluntarily in church, and I was working to the other projects in a church with the Father Victor, making slide movies, and we were showing that movies to the in our villages, and with some prayers and everything. So my sister Nasreen knows I will. It's not my desire to get her married. So she said, "Did you have find a boy for you?" I said, "No." And she said, "When you will find a boy for you?" I said, "You know, I don't want to get married." And she said, "Okay." When she was in Holland that time. And she asked me if I will tell you there is a one nice community, and the same community which you like, she will, the community will give you freedom, and whatever you want to do, they will give you freedom to do it, that things. So if you want to meet with these people and you want to know about these people, I'll send you something, paper material. So I said, okay, let me see what they are. And she, I think 3 times she phoned me, she talked about the Lorettos, and she have sent me material and all things, and I knew they are giving the freedom of work, they are not bounding the person. And I said, okay, fine, I'm happy to join them.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think it's important to remind our viewers that Pakistan is a relatively new country, only cut out in 1947 from what was India, and originally set out to be, what, 98? It's now 98% Muslim, and then another 1% other, and then maybe only 1% Christian. So it's you are really a very small community in Pakistan itself. So that to me is fascinating, because I imagine there are different social customs if you're Muslim or if you're Christian, but at the same time you're still Pakistani. So can one of you talk a little bit about that to give the people at home some idea of what life is like for you, for women especially in Pakistan? Who would like to do that or try?
In Pakistan, actually woman is very bound in Pakistan, and what we feel, and personally what I was doing, and Samina and Maria, they were doing for a woman, lots of work they have done for a woman, and actually we want to bring it up, that woman in Pakistan, because our woman is very bounded in you can say 4 walls, and we want that woman, she should come out, she should stand on her feet, and she should do something for the nation, because there is a one saying of one I don't know, it's I don't remember the author, but he said, if you will teach the one lady, you will teach the nation.
Allama Iqbal.
Oh yes, Allama Iqbal, our poet. So thank you, Samina. And he said, if you will teach a one woman, you are teaching the nation. So we like to teach the women so we can teach our nation.
And all of you, though, have studied at government schools when you were young, and you
Yes.
study English, and so that gives you an opportunity to go out and to learn so much more. What are your personal goals in terms of what would you like to see happen in Pakistan? How would you like to contribute to the improvement of conditions for women and children in Pakistan?
I was working with the NGO, as Samina told you, and we were working with the women, especially who were in the jail, and at this time we were working in a very small level, and Loretto helps us, and Loretto gave us funding for our projects. So we think that when we will go back to Pakistan, we will free and we have more resources to do the work which we have started, I think, in 2000, and we would like to continue that work.
What are the problems for women that caused them to be in prison? Why were the women put into prison?
There is several problems, and one I like to mention, it's honor killing.
Yeah.
And I'm from the part of south of Pakistan, and they are from the central, and both places we have done we have a very you can just say severe type of cases we are dealing for the honor killing, and we like to work for that woman, and especially for the young girls who are coming up, and even in sometime in our villages, what happen if the people are, the girl is talking to somebody, it doesn't matter, she is talking, where is the way, but she is talking to the man, and if somebody have seen that girl, oh, she is talking to man, and the uncle came with a rifle or pistol or whatever and shoot that girl because she was talking with the man.
So it's permissible for a man to kill a woman
Yes.
who is talking to a man who is not her husband
Yeah.
or family member?
Yeah.
If you were
They
talking
have
to me
relations.
in Pakistan, that someone could come up and kill you for doing that?
It's in our villages. It's not in cities.
Also, it's for Muslims, not for Christians.
I see.
Yeah.
But if they don't know you're a Christian,
But if they are relative, so then they can do this. If you are a stranger for me and you cannot do
I see.
anything to me.
I see.
Yeah.
And there's no punishment for the man who does that or the woman?
No.
No.
But right now our President Musharraf, he is doing something
see.
regarding this.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's pretty important things. And so tell us, how does Loretto work? You're a social worker. What is that like? I mean, how can the people in America understand that? Can you explain it a little bit?
Well, actually, Maria's older sister, Sister Nasreen, has for the past 6 months been traveling throughout the country, speaking with small groups, and she carries with her a videotape that was put on American television about honor killing. So, I mean, one thing that would be important to us is that people come to understand that phenomenon in Pakistan and in other parts of the world. The honor killing is in other countries as well. For the sake of women and their children, it's important that be known, that happens. And in as much as people in other parts of the world can have any influence over what happens in another country, there would be some hope that could happen. And we know that influence happens in a lot of different ways, not the least of which is prayer, and certainly many other ways as well, in terms of becoming involved actively with educating people around this phenomenon, and in some cases providing some financial resources for the people who are right there in Pakistan doing a lot of difficult, very difficult work, and in some cases dangerous work.
Yeah, it sounds very dangerous. So I really want to thank you for coming to share that with us, because I knew nothing about that before you spoke to me before the program. What is it that the people in this country need to know? I know you mentioned that the United States currently, and America in general, doesn't have a good reputation right now in Pakistan. Can you say a little more about that and give us some clarity about it, or tell us to understand, how can we better understand why we as Americans are not appreciated in Pakistan? Anyone?
Actually, first I like to tell the American people they should come to my country and they should know better us. Before they decide anything for us, they should study us. They should study our culture, they should study our government, what is our government policies and all this. And the special thing is they should come and know what's the work is doing the missionaries over there. And then they decide, because in Americans, they think we are the terrorists. We all are not terrorists. And there is certain groups in the world, they are terrorists. And definitely we have. But they should know better when they will come to us. And I invite you all people to come my country and see my country.
Okay. Is it safe currently for Americans to travel in Pakistan?
We will try our best to save you, because it's not our fault, it's your fault.
You know, I would just say I visited Pakistan a year ago in November, and was with these 3 women a good deal of the time, and utterly trusted that they were doing whatever needed to be done for my safety, and I think in many ways didn't even know how much they were doing. I think after the experience I had a better sense of some of the things that they were doing to really protect me. And so it probably isn't everybody who is going to go to Pakistan at this point in time, but
Yeah.
I think I can say for myself, if it had not been for Nazarene and the 3 of you, a lot of my understanding of what happened post 9/11 in this country would have been very different. And so from that standpoint, I think we can always learn more, know more, in order to understand.
Okay. We've only got a few minutes left. Is there anything else that you would like the American people to know, or anything that you would like to share with us, or what can we do, the average person sitting at home, in America, how can they be of help to people in your country, or with the ministry that you ladies are involved with?
First, I think they think about why they lose their confidence of Pakistan. from where if America is doing something wrong with Muslim countries, then they think we are Americans. That's why it's going wrong with between our
They think of
country.
you as
Yes.
American because you're Christian.
Yes, yes,
They
that's
think
right.
that we are friend of America,
Yeah.
so that's why they are trying to do something wrong with us.
So if America's policies affect people in Pakistan,
Yeah.
Yes.
Muslim people in Pakistan
Yeah.
take it out on you because
Yes.
you're Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I had never thought of that, and I'm sure a lot of people hadn't thought of that either. But because they associate Christianity with the West, then.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult just to live, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to be Christian or Catholic in Pakistan, then.
It's the persecuted church in
Yeah, literally.
Pakistan. It
Yeah.
is.
So again, how can American people help? I want to encourage you, if you've just joined us, we're talking with 3 women from Pakistan who are here to learn more about the Loretto community. And I want you to invite you to go to www.lorettocommunity.org and look up what the work is being done, not just in Pakistan and the United States, but all around the world, and find out more about what's going on. To me, I'm really happy that you would come in and share with us, because we here in the West, we get distracted and we're not aware of everything that's going on, and we certainly we don't know what American policies in your part of the world, how they're affecting the individual people. Just in the few minutes we have left, is there any specific examples that you would like to share, to highlight, to give an example of what you were talking about?
I just like to say thank you from all of us to all you people and you, and especially I will ask for your prayers, because we are going to start a new Lorettos in Pakistan, and we are the pioneers and beginners. So I would like you people to pray for us, so we will go there and we will start a new project over there. We can help the people who are suffering with different problems. So I hope we will do with your prayers best.
You mentioned before primarily education.
Yes.
What else? How about health care in Pakistan for Christians or non-Christians?
You know, you might talk about the income generating
Yeah.
efforts, because I think that's another thing that you've focused on.
Mm-hmm. And also previously we were working with the health also, and let me think. Government of Pakistan have healthcare centers in every city, and they are working. They don't think that if they are Christian or Muslim, but they are doing very well. But the experience which I have, Sabina and I, we were working in the previously we were working with the church-based organization, and it was outreach of a hospital, and we were working with the health and income generating skill development program. In skill development program, the skills which women have, we polish them and we introduce them marketing skills, and then they can earn something and they can survive.
Oh, I see. So to make women self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because traditionally in Pakistan and most of that country, women are dependent
Yeah.
upon men for their livelihood, right?
Yeah.
And so now this is a change whereby women can have a choice then. If they can take care of themselves, then they'll have the freedom to decide what they want to do with their life. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an important point. We've just, as I said, we got a few more minutes left to try. You know, I'm amazed by this. Honor killing was something I hadn't heard about, and sounds like a very important thing. And so that's another thing that's dangerous, you know, for you. And what other risks are these ladies looking at or taking in their lives?
Well, this is an extremely male-dominated country. So for these women to go into a small village and have a meeting with a group of women is a dangerous thing, because the men in that village object to the education that these women will receive, because it will change their lives. And so, I mean, just that kind of activity is a kind of a dangerous activity. Starting schools where the curriculum will be such that they will be teaching that male and female are equal is a dangerous thing to teach in a male-dominated culture. So it takes a great deal of prayer and spiritual practice to bring your being to that, I believe. And I see that in these women, and Loretto feels just terribly gifted, really wonderfully gifted by their presence among us.
Well, that's wonderful, and we're glad that you're here. So just in the minute or two that we have left, who would like to say something else to the people of the United States on behalf of yourself or your country or your community or your families? Anything else that you can think of? You're proud to be Christian, though. It sounds like
course.
it's made a
We-
big
we've
difference
started
in your
that.
life.
Yeah.
And the Catholic Church is present along with other denominations in Pakistan,
Yes.
all working to try and better conditions there.
Yeah.
So there are other denominations as well. Do they get along? The different Christian denominations get along in Pakistan for the most part?
Sometimes, like we have one priest, he's working with others, but some are very, they don't like to work with the others, but people think that it can be or it should be happen that from other what you can call them.
Denomination.
Other
Oh, yes.
denominations or other
They should cut.
missionaries.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've run out of time, but I want to thank you ever so much, to all four of you, for coming in and enlightening us. I really strongly encourage you, those at home, if you've been moved as I have, please go to www.lorettocommunity.org or watch the credits and get in touch with them and see how you can be of help to this very worthwhile effort. So again, on behalf of everybody here at Spirituality in New Mexico, I want to welcome you here. Hope you enjoy your stay and learn a lot. And please come back sometime and tell us what you've learned or keep us up to date. And Sister Anna, thank you for coming down.
Bill. It was good to be
Great
here.
to have you.
Thanks.
So on behalf of everybody here at Spirituality, I want to thank you for viewing. And do consider this as part of one of your tithing areas to perhaps you want to consider helping people that really need your help. So on behalf of everybody here at Spirituality and Bill O'Donnell, I want to thank you for viewing, and stay tuned next week for another program on spirituality.